Hey guys, Star Wars 101 here. Hope you all are having a great day. Today I want to talk about and dive into the future of Star Wars games, specifically the possibility of a Star Wars Battlefront 3 and the future of the Battlefront franchise. As well, talk about a few possibilities if Battlefront 3 does in fact happen. So stay tuned, I have a lot of points I'm going to talk about. But before we start, if you didn't watch my last video, I now have a Patreon, so if you want to support me and support the upcoming fan films, please make sure to go check it out. I'll link it in the description for you guys. One more thing, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the latest upload. And without further ado, let's get started. So, it was a big surprise for a lot of people, including myself, when DICE and EA decided to quit working on Star Wars Battlefront 2. The final update was released on April 29th, and I think a lot of people were still expecting more from the game, such as new heroes like Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Ahsoka Tano, and more features in general. Battlefront 2 is one of the most successful and most popular Star Wars games to have ever been released, and to this day, still has millions of people playing online every day. The game also made one of the biggest recoveries I personally have ever seen in any game that I've played. As I'm sure a lot of you know, Battlefront 2 got off on a rocky start with the whole pay-to-win concept, as well as being loaded with hundreds of glitches and bugs. EA is known for putting pay-to-win systems in their game titles, but people weren't having it, so EA listened and fixed those issues within the first year of the game being released. And I gotta tell you, I gotta give them props for that. Usually games that get released on a rocky start flop within the first few months. But somehow Battlefront 2 crawled its way out of that hole, and it's now where it is today. So huge props to DICE and EA for successfully doing that. So now let's start talking about Battlefront 3. The first question that pops into my head, as I'm sure it will for many of you as well, is what will make it stand alone from the rest of the Battlefront games? Well, first, let's look at what differences the Battlefront games have. When you look back at the 2015 Battlefront, it revolved heavily around the original trilogy, with DLCs and add-ons as the game progressed. Battlefront 2, however, revolved around all of the three eras: the Clone Wars, the Galactic Civil War, and the recently completed Resistance War, or the Sequel War. Not to mention its single-player campaign, which was a huge success on its own. And because of Battlefront 2 having most of the Star Wars content we love to play, it raises a big problem if EA were to make a third title. Some people argue that there isn't enough new Star Wars content out there to make a whole new game. Battlefront 2's purpose was to bring both the prequel and sequel trilogy eras together in one game, and it successfully pulled that off. Now we have a Star Wars game where we can play in any era we'd like to, and in any battle scenario we'd like to. So back to the question, how could you make a game that already has all three eras? Well, in reality, we have only begun to scratch the surface of what can be put into Star Wars games. Even though Battlefront 2 is jam-packed with content, there are still things that people want to see in a Star Wars game. For example, more heroes like Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu, and Ahsoka Tano, and villains like Grand Admiral Thrawn and Darth Raven. That would be a huge plus for fans, considering we haven't been able to play any of those characters yet. Another thing that could be added is more planets or maps, such as Coruscant, Dagobah, and Corellia from Solo: A Star Wars Story. And they could even go all out and add a Clone Wars as well as a Mandalorian DLC with new maps, skins, blasters, ships, and more. There is a ton of things that could be implemented in Battlefront 3 if it were to happen. The next thing I want to talk about is the license that EA has for Star Wars. So the contract that EA has with Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Disney, whatever, doesn't expire until sometime in 2023, which means that if a Battlefront 3 is actually happening, they would need to start production on the game fairly soon or extend the contract for another few years. Another thing that is going to get in the way is Star Wars Squadrons. The new Star Wars game centered around nothing but space battles, which is coming out October 2nd of this year, and the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, which does not have a release date at this time yet. What some people don't think about is, just like Apple or Tesla, EA is a massive company, and they're going to put all of their attention in these two upcoming Star Wars games for years before worrying about another game. And they do this to make profit. Every big company makes profit and has to make profit. Games of these sizes take years to make and also take a lot of money. Battlefront 2 took roughly $100 million to make, so money definitely plays a big role in it as well. So the last thing I want to talk about, and really the biggest reasons why Battlefront 3 needs to happen, is the next generation consoles. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are both going to be monsters of machines, which means games for next gen will be bigger and look better. This is the perfect reason to make Battlefront 3. Most people are going to get the next gen consoles as soon as they release, or shortly after, so now would be a great time to start working on Battlefront 3. So now I want to ask you guys, do you think a Battlefront 3 needs to happen? Let me know down in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more awesome Star Wars content, as well as check out my new Patreon. I will also link that in the description below. My name is Star Wars 101, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.